Hello VC, Cake Nerd, Andrew here. Been lurking around on YouTube for quite a while on watching a lot of the VC videos and stuff, and getting a lot of uh, inspiration for music to listen to, and it's been fantastic so far. So I thought I'd try and give back a little bit and hope that you guys appreciate it or like it or however you feel. And just thought, yeah, I'd start by introducing myself and a little bit of the music that I listen to, how I came across music, and stuff like that. Basically, when I grew up, my father was a huge music fan. Um, Large record collection, not as large as what I've seen some of you guys have and girls on in the VC, but a lot of his musical influences transferred down to me, and a lot of the albums that I heard growing up as a kid in the house on a weekly basis, I have since purchased for myself, and some I have pilfered from my father's collection, which we'll just keep that on the down low. But first, I want to start off with showing you some of my favourite albums. First one is John Martin, Solitaire. Great singer-songwriter, you know. Track number 3 on side 2, May You Never, one of the greatest songs ever written by him or by anyone. He has another album, Grace and Danger, where he sings a song called Hurt in Your Heart. If you can find that on YouTube of him playing that, it's one of the most emotional rides you'll ever take, basically. It's quite a good album as well, but I found this one more accessible. First one I bought of his, and it's just really, really nice music, basically. Second up is an album that I listen to with my son quite a lot. He quite enjoys it. Probably a lot of you won't know this album or this band. It is a Melbourne band from where I am, from the 70s, and they still tour around in various incarnations. It's Captain Matchbox Whoopie Band, Wangaratta Wahine. Captain Matchbox is basically Mick Conway and Jim Conway, his brother. Influenced a lot by a lot of the early jazz recordings of the 20s and 30s, and of early jug band music as well. It's quite a fun album, really. Covers actually by a cartoonist called Lunik, Michael Lunik, who's quite well known within Australia. Next we have Let It Be Naked. I prefer this over to Let It Be purely because of the mix. I happen to think that this sounds a hell of a lot better than the Phil Spector mix, which I'm sort of quite disappointed in. I don't think his style sort of suited them all that well. I'm a huge Beatles fan. I have quite a lot of Beatles records. My first son is named after one of the Beatles. My second son is named after one of the Beatles songs. We'll leave that up to your imagination as to what it could be. This next album is one that I had. It's my first cassette that I got as a child. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. For Christmas one morning, I woke up and had got a Sony Walkman, big white thing like this, big earphones, headphones, and I got this album and the Jive Bunny and the Master Mixes album on cassette. So I just had to get this again on LP purely for nostalgic reasons. I don't listen to it all that often, but I still get a kick out of it sometimes, admittedly. Where are we? There we are. Yeah. Yeah, okay, that's it. Moving on. First discovered Tom Waits as I was probably about 15 or so. My father introduced me to him, obviously, and just thought this guy is just amazing. Got quite a few of his albums on CD. Got a few on LP. Obviously, Raindrops, which is pretty much one of his greatest albums. This LP here is his music done in a German tribute band. I won't say cover band, I'll say tribute band. Piano Has Been Drinking. All in German. Absolutely fantastic. It's just... it makes me so happy listening to this. Another big influence from my father is one of his all-time favourite bands that have been around for so many years, longer than I've been alive. I have almost all their albums on LP. I think I'm missing one or two. This is one of my favourite of theirs, Steely Dan, Katie Line. I mean, Bad Sneakers on this album is just awesome. It's, yeah, I don't know what to say about that. It's great. It's a great song. Great album. Donald Fagen, a nutter. Just an absolute madman for sound quality and perfection. Some people might find him a little bit clinical, a little bit too unemotional, but I just love Steely Dan. Next album is always going to be a top 5 album for me. The other 4 might change, but this will always be within the top 5. Cat Stevens, Tea for the Tillerman. Lovely music again. Maybe not the greatest singing voice, but more, I guess, speaky than singing. But still, I enjoy it a lot. Another artist that I was introduced to through my father, though he wasn't really a fan, so to speak. He enjoyed some of his music. He never owned any of his albums, but one of his friends did own one of the albums. My father put it on for me, and I fell in love with it instantly, and fell in love with him. Not in the literal sense, obviously, in the musical sense. Frank Zappa, Shiki Booty. This was the first Frank Zappa album I bought. Bobby Brown Goes Down. I mean, Broken Hearts Are for Arseholes. What can I say? Can be a bit much for some. Very sort of sharp guitar solos, like knives cutting through you. Can be, but still fantastic. Own quite a lot of his albums on LP and CD. Might get through showing them in a future video, you never know. The last album I've got here is one that always scared the shit out of me as a child. It did not stop me listening to it, but it scared the absolute hell out of me. Again, in my top 5, not necessarily a fantastic album, but very sentimental to me. Yeah. Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds. This was my father's copy, which, like I said, I stole from him. I also have the 7-disc collector's edition with the DVD and the outtakes and everything. I do have the new version as well with the new cast: Liam Neeson, Joss Stone, and a couple of other people which are not coming to mind right now. But the original will always hold a warm place for me. The music that was playing was obviously that album there, The Kinks, Controversy. And yeah, I mean, my love of music is just crazy. My kids all like to choose records, or there's two of them. Both like to choose records. My youngest one likes to choose records when I'm not in the room, and it's a lot of cleaning and protection of my turntable. Obviously, it's within his reach. Anyway, I hope to give back a bit more to the community from what they've given to me. And cheers, guys.